Good morning, everyone. We are so glad that you are here. Today is Friday, and we're talking about Foodie Friday. That's our theme for today. We have discussed so many things this week, things and ways that you can give your brain a break. And gosh, I don't know about you, but that is so important to me. In my everyday life, I want to do everything I can to protect my brain. I mean, I don't know about you, Hope, but I don't think I can function very well if my brain isn't firing correctly.
Absolutely. Well, and you're experiencing something almost every single day with your mother and watching her brain not function optimally with Alzheimer's, that I think that is such a reminder to do what you can in the best ways that you
Mhm.
can. Because I pay attention to this in my life. I remind myself, my husband and my family all the time that it's like, it's so easy to fall into that trap of, well, I don't feel anything. Well, I'm fine now. But
Right.
most issues in our lives, injuries, illnesses, it's a accumulation over time. And that's why I'm so excited about this today,
Yes.
Julie, because food can play such a big role in that accumulation to be able to kind of curb that or halt that or
Mhm.
stunt that a little bit so that we can be our best today, tomorrow, and in the future. So, what are we talking about today? I'm so excited for
All
this.
right. Well, just to give you guys a little background, and Hope was the perfect segue into that. So the way and the reason I got started, in doing everything and as far as becoming a health coach and the different things that I went back to start doing is because of what's happened with my parents over the last 8 to 10 years or so. And, I started thinking, what can I do to make a difference now so that I can live well then? Because what they're experiencing and did experience in their 70s and 80s did not start in their 70s and 80s. As we
Mhm.
know, it started many, many years before that. And our bodies are so adept at just acclimating, overcome what we do to it that eventually it says, I can't do this anymore. So what can you do now? And that's what we're trying to help you with is what can you do now that you can live well then, that you're not just alive, but you feel good, and that you're able to be happy, not just feel good,
Enjoy
but
life,
actually
enjoy it.
enjoy it and be happy while you're doing it. So I decided, what can I do? And one of the first things I started looking at is, what am I eating? What am I putting into my body on a consistent basis? And I'll tell you, it's not that I ate terrible before. I didn't, but I did not eat as well as I know that I can be doing now. I
I have
thought, what
my
is that?
orange.
I thought, is that a grilled cheese sandwich at first?
I have my orange.
So, as since I am a visual learner, I did bring some little props today because I'm very visual, and I want to tell you that when we're talking about cortisol. Cortisol is one of those big stress hormones that we release when we're in that fight or flight. Hope talked earlier in the week about you're trying to run from a bear. Boy, you better hope you got some cortisol pumping through your body at that time and pushing you going and adrenaline and all those good things, to get you going and to escape. But you don't want to live like that all the time. And so many of us are living like that. Now, there is no magic food that can instantly lower your cortisol.
And
That's
anyone
just
that says that too, be leery. Anyone that
yes.
says eat these foods and you'll magically be cured or eat
Yeah,
only this, the body, food, nutrition, health does not work that way.
it does not. It is fuel for your body, and you can either put good fuel in your body or you can put bad fuel in your body.
And
And I guarantee
consistently
you
over
wouldn't put
time.
bad fuel in your truck because you wouldn't
Agreed.
run. But we do it to our bodies all the stinking time. And I say we, I don't mean you, I mean we, because I'm guilty of it at times too. I am. And I think sometimes when we're stressed, we have a tendency to do that even more. But that's a whole other subject.
Yeah.
So
Because we're
I'll
not
try to stick
present,
to
because
topic
we're
this
not
morning.
present in our body. And this is why I love that we had food kind of last, because when we're stressed, when we're not in our body, when we're not calm, when we're not thinking clearly, at least for me, I then just eat. I'm not mindful of what I'm eating. I'm just like, oh,
Yes.
or I'm grabbing for things because I'm stressed. and they're not healthy things. And I know that, but because I'm not in a good place mentally, it's like it overrides me physically.
Yes.
And this is why I'm so
Yes.
excited that you're talking about food today, because well, you can be the healthiest person on the planet and still be struggling in some of these areas. And this is not about being perfect today, everybody.
No,
This is
it's not.
about finding one or two things that you can hold on to and be like, you know what? Yeah, I might be still drinking Mountain Dew, or I still, eat fast food. I do too. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you that I never ate fast food. But it's also making sure I'm getting these other things in my diet to create some balance for myself. And so what are we
Absolutely.
talking about today? I'm so excited.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you. So, what we're talking about is ways to have more anti-inflammatory foods. Because what happens is when you eat anti-inflammatory foods, and we're going to talk about a few of those today, and some things that you can implement, you can start implementing almost immediately, are things that help regulate the release of cortisol. So while you can't just say, boop, here's a magic food, let's eat this, our cortisol goes down. No, but you can eat foods to help you regulate it. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And incidentally, tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow on Saturday, Hope's going to be putting out some things about our tune in for the music.
Tune in Tuesday. Yeah, the
Tune
one
in
that
Tuesday
we
and
we had a
Saturday.
little video glitch show on.
Tune in Tuesday on Saturday. She's going to be talking about frequencies. And incidentally, foods have frequencies as well. And a lot of these same foods that I'm talking about that are considered anti-inflammatory foods, which help regulate the cortisol in the body, are also high frequency foods. Those
Mm.
good alkaline foods that you want to eat to make your body feel its best. So I have some visuals here. One of my good foods that I love, blueberries. Love blueberries. Anti and antioxidants. It's going to be a good anti-inflammatory.
Think of
And
these
you
also
think,
like
well,
these are alive foods, you guys. Like these
yes,
are alive foods, and you're eating something alive to help you stay alive. Think about it like that.
yes, raw and alive. These are not things that are processed in a lab. Boom. That's a big one right there. So
Genetically modified, that there's a GMO, like this is not real. We're focusing on real foods here today, you guys.
real life foods. One of the things too that you think, well, I can't keep things in my refrigerator for too long. What if they go bad? I can't do that. You can actually get small little packages of things. These are strawberries, frozen organic strawberries that you can get, and you can use that. And I'm not trying to advocate for any particular company here, but I have to shop where I live, and I don't have a lot of alternatives. So when
Well,
you
and
live in your
another thing to
pantry,
think about is also freeze dried, not dehydrated, because those can often have a
yeah,
lot of added sugars and a lot of added oils. But freeze dried fruits and vegetables are a great way to get those veggies and get those fruits that have not been modified or altered, that still have a lot of the nutrition because they're freeze dried fresh at their freshest place, and they're quite good. They're crunchy, they're super light, very low in calories still. And so if you're struggling with but I can't keep fresh or I can't keep frozen, look for
right.
freeze dried, not dehydrated, freeze dried. And you can get them at Walmart, you can get them anywhere now. Order them online in bulk. The freeze dried veggies are just as good as the fruits, but that would be another alternative.
So freeze dried, yes. Dehydrated, no. Got that one? Here's now. This is one of my personal favorites. I love this food. A lot of people are like, I don't know about this food. I love this food. I think if you can incorporate one thing, this is like a biggie. I love avocados. These are my friend. I try to eat these as much as possible. Now, I will say, if you're someone who's trying to um, be careful with how much of fat intake you're doing, this is one of the healthiest fats on the planet. But it's all things in moderation there. You don't want to eat 2 or 3 avocados in a day and have 100 grams of fat.
Yes,
So
they are
you
great
just keep
brain
that in
food.
mind. Say that again.
Great brain food.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm saying it's great anti-inflammatory, which makes it great for the brain, and a huge healthy fat too. So you get a lot of good stuff packed in this avocado. And you think, well, I don't like avocado. Well, maybe you like. Oh my gosh, my brain just went offline. What do you make with avocados?
Guacamole. Guac-
Guacamole.
Oh, but you know what else, you guys? I'll look for the recipe. So our friend Karen has the most amazing chocolate mousse recipe out of
Oh, yes.
avocados, and you would never in a
Never.
million years
It is the
think
best
that it's
stuff.
avocado. So if, I know some people, some drivers are like, oh, I don't like the taste. Sometimes it's about hiding it and masking it. And you can also stick them in smoothies, but I will post the recipe in the comments below for the avocado mousse. You can make it in a blender, and it does not at all taste like avocado. And it's made with like real cacao and real maple
Hmm.
syrup and real vanilla. Like it's so good for you. Oh my, and if you want to like freeze it a little bit, it's almost like fluffy ice cream. So tasty. Like so
One of my
tasty.
favorites. One of my favorites. And speaking of that, that was one of the things I was going to mention. I did not bring it in here with me, but I love cacao. Cacao is one of those huge superfoods that does everything for the brain. It helps the brain, but it also helps you to have a common, they call it like the love
Mhm.
powder,
It
so to
really helps
speak,
your nervous
because it
system.
really does help with oxytocin and helps just help you feel better and feel happier. Is that raw cacao? And that's not cocoa. Here we go. This way, that way. You want cacao, raw cacao, not cocoa. When you're
So
cooking with
read those
things like,
labels. Sometimes we see
yes.
things and we just think our brain just kind of goes to what we know. So read those
Hmm.
labels.
Right, absolutely. It's like I don't know if you guys saw that there's a little meme out with this little boy says cocoa and thinks it's going to be sweet. And it's like, and you see him going, and that puff is coming out. And I'm like, yeah, there you go. That was that was just an extra, by the way.
Oh, that's funny.
Then here's one of my other favorites too. I'm going to put these together just because um, they have a lot of the same benefits. I do have this, and I have one frozen and one fresh, just so you can see you can do it different ways. These are just broccoli florets, so to speak. Your broccoli, your green leafy things, always going to be good for helping regulate that cortisol, the release of that cortisol. Great for your brain. And, then we have your spinach here. Got my little leaves of spinach. They don't look real pretty right now, but have my little leaves of spinach. Spinach is always going to be beneficial. And you may be thinking, that's not something I like at all. That is just not my thing. That's why I'm giving you a whole list of different things here that you can try. And
Find what
no,
is, right? Like we're not expecting you to eat everything here, but pick like one or two that maybe you can add to your diet.
this is another one I really like, and I will pull these out for you. I keep these in the fridge after I purchase them, and they're just raw walnuts. I don't know if you can see that there, raw walnuts. And I usually just put them in a glass container and put them in the fridge. If you don't, once you open walnuts, they sometimes don't stay good. They get kind of rancid if you don't put them in the fridge. So I always usually just stick mine in the fridge. Have you found that to be true for you too, Hope?
Yeah, and I actually do sprout mine and then dehydrate them. But if you're like, oh, I don't want to go through that process, yeah, keeping nuts in the fridge is super important.
Yeah. She's a little further along than that than I am. I don't sprout on my stuff.
Oh, okay. Being totally transparent, I go in spurts, and I find that like I'll do it all at once, and I'll do a bunch of nuts, and then that way then I can just store them. That otherwise it's like doing them. Some people do a little bit every week. I don't do that. But even for those of you, even just rinsing nuts and then letting them
Hmm.
sit for just a couple minutes in water, you'll see all of that debris come off the nuts and kind of separate. Like that's all inhibitors. Like it's going to inhibit the nutrition, the ability for you to
Yes.
absorb that from the nut. Same is true with like rice. That's why you should rinse or soak rice. But you can just do that for a couple of minutes and then just even air dry your nuts if you want to, and then pop them in the fridge. They're going to be a little softer. Or you can put them in the oven and just bake them for a couple of minutes. But even just rinsing them, even if you're just going to rinse them and then eat them, you're going to take off all of that stuff that you don't want to be ingesting.
Great idea. Yeah, thank you for adding that to that. So those are a few of the main things that I have. Of course, you do have things called serotonin in your body, which is another feel-good hormone. And the main way usually we get that is through movement. But we've already talked about movement. So I want to tell you some ways that you can actually get some little boost of serotonin. Not huge ones like exercise and sunshine and those things, but you can get a little bit. And that's going to be your things like pineapples and nuts. Again, see how some things just keep overlapping when we're talking, whether no matter what we're talking about nutrition, there are some things that are going to overlap. And you have your nuts and seeds and your salmon to get your omega 3s, which also That's where these come into your walnuts. You ever notice that walnuts are shaped like a brain, by the way?
I do. I think that's so funny.
I
And
think
that
that's
they're
cool.
brain food. They're like a top brain
Yeah,
food. I always
I
think
think
that
that's
that's so
cool.
funny.
So just
And the
go ahead
great thing
and read
is
it.
what you're saying right now, Julie. A lot of these are all available in the truck stop. You can get mixed nuts. Just make sure they're low salt or
Absolutely.
no salt. Look on the back,
Hmm.
make sure they're not adding a bunch of stuff. And totally fine. Like I know I was talking about rinsing nuts. Like you don't have to go that route, but look at when you are buying nuts if they're adding salts or adding preservatives to them. But pineapple, blueberries, a lot of times you can even find those in a truck stop as like a mixed fruit that cup that they've
Hmm.
made
Real
fresh.
fresh
So
fruit.
they're available. They're available.
Absolutely. And the reason I wanted to show you some of these things, the way you can do them differently is these are, we talked about ingredients and reading labels. And I have to say, if you don't hear anything else today, read your labels. And Hope and I can come on again another day if you like, and we can do a little tutorial on label reading. But read your labels, and I mean read your labels. I mean read your ingredient list, not just your nutrition list. Look at those ingredients. I cannot tell you how many times you'd be like, what the heck is this thing? I can't pronounce this word. I don't even know what this is. But if you look on the back of this frozen thing here, guess how many ingredients are on here in this thing of broccoli? Guess how many ingredients are on here, Hope?
Hopefully one.
One. One ingredient. Broccoli. So you can't go wrong there. And you pick up this piece of this little blueberry, one ingredient. That ideally that's what's optimal. And that's why we talk about fresh or frozen or even freeze dried,
And if
because
you are
that's
buying
where your nutrition
prepackaged
is going to be
foods,
optimal.
just look for those minimal ingredients. And my drivers that are out there and have been through my Your Wellness Pit Stop program, you know this, that, when you're looking at those labels, the first three ingredients are the primary ingredients, and then everything
Hmm.
after that is less and less and less.
Right.
But, really looking at sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes it's all that's optional. What I don't want for any of you out there is to start panicking or freaking out because
True.
I do know people in my life that have made health a box, and it has actually robbed them of life as a result because they're so worried
Hmm.
about what they'll eat and what they won't eat, and that they're avoiding life as a result. We don't want you to do that, but we want you to
No,
be
no.
aware that this exists so that you can make better choices, so that you can look and be like, wow, here's 3 packs of mixed nuts. Let me look at the ingredients. Let me look at what's in there. Wow, look at this one. It's loaded with peanuts and a bunch of added oils and salts, where this one is actually like cashews and walnuts, and it just has like cranberries in it, and that's it. And there's like no other, ingredients. It's just kind of raw nuts. This one's going to be better than this one. Yes, they're prepackaged, but there is a better alternative, and we can kind of dance between those things, so that you can be functioning optimally. That's really the goal here, is higher frequency foods, more raw
Hmm.
natural foods balanced in, are going to help you live your life and kind of vibrate and be happy at a higher level. Those are those people where you're like, wow, what are you on? You know what they're on? Real food.
We know one of those people, don't we? Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And that's how I would love to be. And I'm not saying you're going to never have down moments. We all have down moments, but we can do things to help get us through those down moments and come out on the other side being okay with ourselves and being okay with others.
100%.
And that's what we want. So hopefully you can take something away today to say, I don't normally eat that, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a shot to help my brain, help my body, help my life, help me feel better longer.
Awesome. We would love for you guys in the comments below to post what your favorite anti-inflammatory or even just raw or natural food is. Like, what have you found along the way?
Mhm.
What are you adding regularly into your diet? Or where do you think that you want to now? Let's create a conversation down in the comments below. And Julie and I will definitely be watching for that. But we want you to feel better wherever you are. Remember, over at Mother Trucker Yoga, it's the small, simple changes that lead to the big results in your life, so that you, my friend, can feel good again. Julie, I always love doing these videos with you. Such great
Me too,
information.
sister.
Any final parting words?
Thank you so much for coming on here and giving us all such great information all week. It's always an honor for me, and I am just grateful to be here and to be able to present together for everyone. And I hope someone walks away and says, I got this. Better
Awesome.
tomorrow.
And let us know too if there's a topic that you want Julie and I to share with you all. Drop it in the comments below. We're always open to suggestions and things that you would love for us to collaborate together again and share with you all. We are here to help you be happy and healthy out on the road. All right, until next time, you guys. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.